Hi there, I am Sarah Colas. Welcome to the Dressing Up podcast, where we talk about all things bridal, dresses, and general dressing up topics. I love to encourage women to dress up while expressing their personal style with confidence on how to do so. Visit sarahcolas.com to book a bridal alterations fitting or even inquire about designing the custom couture bridal gown of your dreams. I'm so excited to talk to you about this next topic. Let's get started. Welcome to the Dressing Up podcast. I am your host, Sarah Colas, and I am thrilled to announce our special guests, Hannah and Caitlin, joining us today. Hannah and Caitlin are sisters and a fabulous pair. I recently altered Hannah's wedding dress, and Caitlin is a wedding planner with Bunny and June Events. So I'm going to hand the mic over to the two of you to introduce yourselves and let our listeners know what you've been up to lately.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm the owner of Bunny and June Events, like Sarah mentioned. I am a local Metro Detroit event coordinator, full service planner for all of you brides out there. Just getting into our third season with Bunny and June, launched in 2021, and we're very eager for the busy season.
Hello, I am Hannah Newly Nordstrand, formerly Hannah Bailey, Caitlin's little sister. Just got married on June 22nd of this year, and it was a fantastic day.
Who planned your wedding?
My sister, the very own Caitlin Bailey of Bunny and June Events.
It was quite a trip. I'd say we collabed. You had ideas, and I just executed them.
Yes.
I have three sisters, and I love how little sisters always specify that they're the little sister. But when you're the older sister, you never specify.
No.
You just say you're her sister. Okay, so we recently had a wedding here in the family, and I would love to hear all about it because I know that when I saw you for your wedding dress appointments, we were chatting all about it and all of some like really semi-unusual logistics of how things worked out. So I'd love to hear from Hannah about just like what your wedding was like, what was the vibe you were going for, and Caitlin, how did we physically pull this off?
Absolutely. I love to talk about this. It's my favorite thing to talk about ever since. So I would say I'm a little bit understated. I didn't really want to have a big wedding. I would have been fine just going to a courthouse, just Adam and I, and maybe our two witnesses. Adam, we're so blessed. We have, so many family and friends. And so Adam wanted to do the full thing. So we compromised, and our compromise was a very intimate ceremony, which was amazing. It was our immediate family only. And so it was only about 12 people total, plus a couple vendors, our amazing photographer. And it was very lovely, the ceremony. And then we did decide to go with a full reception. That was about 160 people. So healthy amount. And it was not at a typical, I would say, venue. It was at Union Assembly in Detroit. So a little plug there if you've never been. It's a restaurant and it's amazing. Great food, but we had the whole top floor rented out, and it was a terrace overlooking, Comerica Park. So just a great view. But I think it was a good mix of what we both wanted. So it was lovely. I came up with the idea of doing it at a restaurant, and I started kind of just shopping around, for a local. I thought it would be nice to do it in Detroit. We love Detroit, obviously both born and raised in Michigan, Metro Detroit. So started shopping around at restaurants, and I had been there previously, and I just knew it, was a pretty large restaurant. So yeah.
And she's an affordable queen. So she's always looking for saving a time. Her and I are very opposite in that nature. I want the best of the best, the bougiest, the most complicated situation. And so, yeah, she found her venue. We'll give her that. She did find her own venue. But Queen Bee, yeah, she was looking to save a penny there, going a non-traditional route.
I wouldn't have assumed that would have been a cheaper option, but that's great.
When you think about it realistically, because she originally was going to pick a large traditional venue where you had to bring in your own stuff, we kind of eliminated the need to rent tables, linens, chairs. We did a strolling option for guests. They have little soft seatings with couches and coffee tables. So there was enough seats for people, but it wasn't an assigned table per person. So we were able to cut out centerpieces cost, rental costs, all of that type of thing. And it was much more casual than your traditional wedding reception.
Caitlin, tell us more about the ceremony.
Oh my gosh. It was truly, I get like so emotional when I talk about it. It was the most, it's nothing I've ever done as a wedding coordinator. And you know, when it's your sister, you want her to do the best and have the best and be the best. And so she wanted an intimate ceremony where they could both read their vows to each other and not have to worry about being distracted or if they messed up or anything like that. So somehow, by the graces of God, we were able to get into Shinola, and she was able to rent one of the big suites with a private terrace, which is so crazy because they have multiple weddings going on there that their guests get, or their like clients get to have those rooms before they would ever trickle down to a stranger being able to rent those. So she was able to get one of those, and we had 9 seated guests, 5 from his side, 4 from our side. His grandmother, who's the only living grandparent between the two of them, officiated the ceremony, and she did such an amazing job. It was so sweet and so intimate. Obviously, they worked on the ceremony portion together, but she added in her own little flair there to make it so special. And her words were really special. And it was really sweet when we were sitting and all crying during the ceremony. We looked over across the street, across Woodward, and there were people in their apartments across the street watching the ceremony. It was really, really sweet.
Oh my gosh.
It was like a movie. It was so perfect, but it was very sweet. It was very intimate. They had read their own private vows, had us all bawling the whole time, in case you couldn't tell. We're a very emotional family. Yeah. But we got to hear the streets of Woodward, everyone down below. Everyone was so excited. It was honestly so perfect. It was very sweet. We were lucky.
I don't know if you want to share, but I know when you came for your appointments that you were talking about how to get some of the florals and chairs and things upstairs.
Oh yeah.
Did we watch? Should we watch? I know.
You know what? I feel like at this point they really can't take Hannah down. Hannah's name was on everything, so take it up with this homegirl. But yeah, so I am a logistics queen. I love to work on that whole portion of things. So we were able to rent chairs because obviously they all have to match. We all have to be extra and they have to be exactly what she wanted. We couldn't just be standing there watching it. We needed to be seated. So we did rent some chairs, and we purchased these beautiful semi arches that were so bright in color, and literally, honestly, like nothing we've ever seen in the wedding industry, at least in Metro Detroit. Usually people are so afraid of color. So yeah, we rented chairs. We had those arches. I handmade Hannah's bouquet and Adam's boutonniere and everything for the parents, made all of those. And yeah, we waited for the sun to go down and hoping that nobody at Shinola was going to be working the front desk to stop us. And we pulled up our U-Haul and unloaded it right on the street. Funny thing is you have to use their bellhop there. So you can't touch a bellhop cart by yourself there. So we didn't plan for that one. So we were a little bit nervous because they had to literally walk us up there with our 10 chairs and in our big arches that were already built and not hidden in any way, shape, or form. So we were very, very nervous for that. But I think with the chaos of unloading on a main street where people are also unloading their cars to go in for like into the hotel and stuff, just the chaos, the heat, all of it. I think we just were like, let's just get it done. They can't stop us. They're not going to stop us. We're just go. Moving. Yeah. So we rearranged their patio furniture a little bit. Hannah and I spent the last night together. And so we rearranged the patio furniture a little bit, put some outside patio furniture in the closet and rearranged it a little bit. So we knew it could all fit. But yeah, it was a fun little logistical puzzle. And I think it turned out perfect.
It was perfect. Very chaotic, but no one asked questions, so we got away with it.
we haven't received a bill yet. Anything, so totally that's fine. A plus.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, and they liked our pictures on Instagram, so
so yeah,
we should be okay. Yeah, I know they're gonna get a lot of inquiries and say, "I saw this really intimate ceremony. I want to do that too." And they're gonna be like, "Dang it,
don't try this at home."
Literally.
Oh my goodness, that I love that because that is just so different. And only someone with a sister as a wedding planner could really think of that to pull it off.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy.
Truly.
Yep.
She didn't want to. She was like, we'll just stand. We don't need anything. I was like, no, we're making this happen.
Hannah, do you have a favorite moment from wedding planning or the wedding itself?
Favorite moment from probably both, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire planning process, obviously, to be able to plan it side by side with my sister was the most amazing process. I luckily got to kind of step aside and just let her work her magic, which was
what she wanted.
truly,
happen, right?
truly so blessed. I told her what I thought I wanted, and then she brought like a vision to life. Like I originally thought that I was going to do like white roses and like baby's breath, which is beautiful. But I think what she brought to life was just so different and unique and vibrant with all of the colored florals and, colored candlesticks. It was amazing. So I guess the entire process of being able to plan it with her, we did our own florals, which I think is also very unique. We got our family members together on the Thursday night before the wedding, before our Saturday wedding. And yes, it was basically like a flower shop in her basement. We put all the centerpieces together.
How do you know how to do that?
She's amazing.
You're so sweet. No, I worked at a florist in high school and college, and that's kind of where I got my feet wet in the wedding industry. So I do have some experience. It's been many, many years since I've been there, but we knew we could do it, so it's fine.
Yeah,
we knew it.
Okay.
Yep. But I mean, everything she picked out and put together was incredible, and it was awesome to be able to say that we did that together, as a family. His side too, his mom and sister came. So that was lovely, I think, for the planning process. And then the wedding, oh gosh, the list, just goes on for favorite memories. I would say the ceremony, it just being so intimate. Obviously, that was my preference, it being smaller. Afterwards, we got to just have like a champagne toast in the suite after and kind of just hang out and listen to music. Talk a little bit about the ceremony, kind of just soak in, being a new family. So that was probably my favorite part of the wedding.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Amazing.
She's very blessed. Her in-laws are amazing and they've made us all feel like family. So it was really fun to have that like 30-minute period where we were sipping on some champagne, taking some photos. Yeah, it was literally so fun. We were eating some snacks together and
some snackies.
Some little snackies. Yep. And then her quote unquote bridal party met up with her to do a bunch of photos. So it was nice to be able to have that time with their families.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you do hair and makeup in the morning?
We did. Yep. We had makeup and hair. Both of them came to the suite, which was amazing.
Who was that?
Makeup was done by Mary Grace.
Okay.
Mary Grace makeup. She's amazing. She did the three of us, me, my mom, and my sister. And then my best friend, Jen, she's a hairstylist in a previous life. So so she did amazing as well. And then Caitlin's friend came in to do my mom and my sister. So it was same kind of morning, I think, as a, typical bride, just not as crazy with all of the bridal party.
It was really relaxed. We woke up, we went over to Canal, got to have an iced latte and her croissant, and we got to chill in the morning, which was so nice. Hair and makeup didn't start till 11, so that was one bonus of not having a massive bridal party is we didn't have to wake up at the crack of dawn and start that whole process. It was super chill. We listened to music. Mom was there. It was just really fun and super chill.
Agreed.
I had a chill wedding morning myself. We didn't do the whole hair and makeup thing. I have mixed feelings about it. If I could go back, I probably would have, but it was just like an easy, nice morning with just my sisters and mom. And that's so nice.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
So I was stalking all the wedding photos and everything. Of course, I'm like clicking on everything, like going to all the vendors' profiles and things. And there's this one video that I watched over and over and over again. You dancing with like the dog. I was just like, you just look so happy. It was so funny. Like, and your dancing was so funny. I just loved it. But you just look so happy. So
yes, that was actually a surprise.
Yeah, what was
My sister. So we have a dog. My husband and I have a dog. His name is Jarvis. Obviously, we had to put him in daycare for the night, so we were missing him. And the DJ all of a sudden announces, like, I don't remember what he said. He's like, we have a surprise guest for you. There's someone that's missing from the wedding. And I turned to Adam. I'm like, oh my God, if they bring Jarvis out right now.
He's a puppy. He's a little baby. Well, he's not little, but he is a puppy. And we were all like, oh gosh.
It's scary. But the DJ turned on Who Let the Dogs Out. And then they brought in the Jarvis little heads, the cutout of the heads. And we were dancing all night long with those. And it was so funny.
Oh my God.
I had to surprise them. That's one of the benefits of it being your sister, or for me anyway, like a full service client. I can throw in those little surprises here because I get to know that person so much. And I'm like, this will light them up. Like Adam had the best time. They were being passed around. It was so much fun. It was a really good time. We tried to work in Jarvis as much as we could. So the morning, actually, we were watching him on the daycare, like live feed all morning long on the screen at Shinola. We were watching him, waiting for him. And so I had to surprise him with some big Jarvis heads.
Your family sounds so fun. You guys must have some really fun like Christmases and holidays.
We definitely do.
Yeah, I think we're fun.
You're very like creative thinkers. Like who would think that the morning of your wedding to turn on, right? Like that's hilarious. I love
We do have fun. We play games and typical.
It's so fun.
Hannah, what advice would you give to brides?
Let's see, probably a couple things. Number one being get a coordinator.
Number one.
Yes.
I'd agree with that.
Yes. Number one, I always recommend a full service after going through it and having my fantastic full service coordinator sister. She handled so much for me. And again, like was able to be creative and, come up with a lot of great ideas that I think made the day really special. At the very least, I would say do a day of coordinator, because looking back on the wedding day, especially the reception, like the ceremony was one thing, I think, for my wedding in particular, because it was so small. But at the reception, I didn't have to think at all. Everything was handled for me. And it was amazing. Like the logistics, everything was handled. So I would say number one, absolutely get a coordinator. And number two, people throughout the wedding planning process and like when we got engaged, everyone's advice was like soak it in. It goes by so quick. And I'm like, oh, like you hear it and it just goes in one ear and out the other because you hear it so often. I'm like, okay, yeah. But looking back at the day, absolutely, it's correct. Like it goes by so quickly and it's truly the best day of your life. And I find myself like looking back and I'm just like, oh, I wish I could do it again. And you can't, which is so, well, you can, but you don't want to typically. But it was just the best day. And I really did try to take it to heart. There was a moment on the dance floor towards the end of the night when the dance floor is usually pretty packed. Oh, we were dancing to Mr. Brightside, which is the best. Like it really gets you in your feels. Everyone's like jumping up and down. And I took a pause. I stopped dancing for a second and just tried to like scan the room. And it was almost like it was in slow motion. I'm just like, wow, like we're so blessed. We're so lucky. But that would be my advice, is to really just stop and look around and take it all in.
Yeah, it truly was the best day ever. Like people ask me like, how was it? And I was like, oh, it was the best day of my life too.
Yeah.
It was truly so great. She was so happy. Adam was so happy. And they both got to be present because they had amazing vendors that handled everything for them. So they really didn't have to, we literally had to just tell them to eat. Like we were feeding her, like making sure it was.
We both had to be force fed.
Yeah. It was just, they literally didn't have to think about anything. We took care of everything. It was truly, minus the weather, because it was 94 degrees and like 100% humidity. So that was a little bit of a downside, but it didn't stop anybody from celebrating them, which was amazing. It truly felt great.
Everyone was sweating, but still on the dance floor, which is crazy.
You see pictures, everyone's faces are so red.
Oh my God.
So sweaty, but like we weren't stopping, honey. We were going.
Yeah. Wow.
It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. We're going to get back soon to Caitlin and all about your business,
Sure.
but I'm going to take a little fun intermission to ask you a question just to make sure I don't forget, as we are on the Dressing Up podcast after all. What are your favorite items in your closets right now? If you had to go into your closet and pick out your favorite thing right now, what would that be for each of you?
Oh, I'm not a fashion girly. I don't enjoy dressing up. It's not fun for me. So I don't love that. But I would say right now, honestly, I just got a brand new concert t-shirt and I love it. I love it with biker shorts. Just throw it on. It makes me feel comfortable. Pair of tennis shoes. People are like, wow, you're so cute. I'm like, wow, thanks. I didn't even have to try. So I would probably say one of my concert tees right now.
Concert tee, what is that, Eminem?
Yeah, it's actually Keith bought it for me the night of her wedding because Union Assembly is attached to Mom's Spaghetti, and so there's a little M&M shop.
Oh,
and so Keith bought it.
Okay.
Whatever.
Nice.
It was fun.
I love that. For me right now, I mean, it's dead of summer, so I would say my favorite thing is probably just like a sundress or a summer dress, something that I could just throw on and leave the house with a pair of sandals. Easy.
I like that.
Yeah.
I know. I love wearing summer dresses like what you have wearing right now. And sometimes I'm going to like a family party or something. I'm like, oh, I really want to wear that one fun summer dress I have. Maybe it's like a vintagey. And then put it on and I'm like, this is just like a lot for like, I know my family. I know how they dress up. I don't think it's too much for the occasion, but like if we were down south, it would be totally appropriate. I'd blend right in. But everyone's always like, oh, why are you all always so dressed up?
Worse.
And I'm like, honestly, isn't a sundress more comfortable than jeans?
100%.
Right? I'm like,
you don't have to think about matching it. Yeah.
It's so effortless and breezy. And so
I agree.
Yeah.
I think we need to work on that.
Definitely.
Make summer dress, like fun summer dresses more normal for more casual events.
I agree.
Perfect. We figured it out. Okay, so now Caitlin.
Yes.
Let's talk about Bunny in June. Tell us, what is Bunny in June and what do you do?
So Bunny in June, like I mentioned, is a event coordination service, event planning service. There's like, people say there's two different things, a coordinator and a planner. We do it all. So I have free services. I have month of, I have partial, which is a little more hand holding, a little bit more thorough in the process of planning. And then I have a full service option, which clients can be as involved or not involved as they want to be. If they just want to trust me with the process and know that I can make their vision come to life, that is an option for them, similar to what Hannah kind of had there. Or if they just, want to make the decisions and I just present it to them, I take all the stress off their plate. So we launched in 2021, Bunny in June, and we're working through our third wedding season right now. We're so blessed. 75 brides so far, and we're just really lucky.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's awesome. How did you get into this?
So like I mentioned, I actually worked in a florist in high school and in college, and I kind of got my toes wet there where I got to work with brides a little bit. It was creative for me. I've always had a creative brain. So sitting behind a desk just was not going to work for me. So I thought back in the day when it was time to go to college that I was going to open my own florist, and it just never really worked out. I didn't love it that much. And when I transferred over to Central, they had an events department and I fell in love. I did my internship out of college at Ford Field and worked there for 10 years. And
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. It was a lot of fun. We went to 9 different Super Bowls working, which was so cool. So I got to see events on a large scale, and then I kind of got to see the smaller end of stuff. So out of college, I worked at a venue and I got a lot of my experience. Honestly, I owe everything to that venue because I learned so much in the wedding industry. So yeah, I've worked at several different venues managing them, and that's where I gained all my experience. And I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, my own boss, work my own schedule, work from home before COVID was even a thing. I've always wanted to work from home.
Yeah.
And so that's where I gained all my experience. And I had a bad experience at a venue, and it kind of just pushed me into launching my own company. It was the push that I needed because I knew I could have done it, 8 years before that, 10 years before that, but I was just so scared. It's a scary feeling. And yeah, it was the push I needed. So 2021, we launched Bunny in June.
It was the push I needed to.
Yeah.
Take mine full time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so great. I know I've asked you this before, but let's tell our listeners how you came up with the name Bunny in June.
Sure. So Bunny was actually my grandmother's nickname, and she was like the Martha Stewart of my life. She always had, her home was always well furnished, and the details for every holiday, her Thanksgiving tablescape, the flowers, she was just like the Martha Stewart of my life. So I kind of got a lot of my inspiration from her and the way that she was. So we knew we wanted to put Bunny in there. And the only thing that kind of went with it, we threw out so many options, was June, which is my birthday month. So I was her favorite grandchild. So Bunny and June, just hooked right up together.
I want to ask you, I've got a few wedding planning questions we're going to run through. Does everyone need a wedding planner?
No, like I mentioned, and like Hannah mentioned, everyone should at minimum have a day of coordinator. My package is a month of coordinator. I think we need to be heavier in communication as the event gets closer. I can't just show up and be successful on your wedding day. So we're in heavier conversations, reviewing all the details. So I think at minimum, in order for you to really enjoy the day, you should have a day of coordinator or a month of coordinator. Do I think people can plan their wedding without a planner? Absolutely. Do I think it's much more difficult on them when they don't have a full service planner? Absolutely. I think I can gauge on my clients on whether or not they want more hand holding or they want me to make more decisions and simply just present them to them. So the short answer is, does everybody need a coordinator? No. Does everybody need a day of coordinator? Yes.
So right. That was one of my biggest regrets. After my wedding was over, everyone always asks you, well, would you do anything different? I would say absolutely. I would hire a coordinator and a lawyer.
Oh
but more
God.
so a coordinator. Those
Truly.
contracts can be rough.
Truly. And it's only 24 hours. So when you think about it, it's only 24 hours. You've been planning it for 18 months, and you don't want to be dealing with small little details that somebody else can handle. You want to be present in the moment, whether it's while you're getting your hair and makeup done with your girlies, and who knows, the DJ got a flat tire. You have a day of coordinator that can just solve that problem for you, and you don't even need to know about it. Whereas if you didn't have her there or him there, you are dealing with it. You're on the phone, they're trying to get a hold of you, you're trying to help them. And it just takes away time from the only 24 hours that you have of your day. So
right.
You just need a day of coordinator to handle behind the scenes.
Yeah. And can you do it yourself? You can, but it won't be as fun. Won't be as enjoyable. 100%. And after you're spending all this time, money, and effort on planning your wedding day, you should be able to sit back, relax, and enjoy it. 100%. Not finish the last 1% of wedding planning that needed to happen.
100%. I agree with that. And I think
we're a little biased here. But
yeah, sure. I mean, you've been through it.
Yes,
I see my clients, so it makes more sense. And, you can always tell when you go to a wedding that has, and then you go to a wedding with nothing and you're behind on schedule and the food is going out late and all of this. And you're like, what? She should have had a day of coordinator. And it's like, you can't say anything because you're just a wedding guest.
Oh, yeah.
But you definitely can tell, what weddings have them and what weddings don't.
That's so true.
One of my selling points is that we handle all of the behind the scenes stuff. So you're not aware of it. And then we stay all the way till the end of the event and we pack up all of those little personal decor items. So you're not assigning tasks to drunken groomsmen or parents who maybe bailed early and now you're in charge of it. So we stay till the very end. Hannah helps me often. So she knows we stay till the very, very end. We pack up all of those personal belongings. We pull up the person's car. We put it in their car, like literally so stress-free. You just have to grab your shoes and your suit jacket and head out the door. Like, you don't have to worry about anything, which is why people need a coordinator.
So right. I feel like people always see it as that like a very optional thing because our parents didn't really have that. Like it's been like a semi-newer usual thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why people are always questioning it. But I think it should be just as important as the photographer. So, and as far as booking them. So what are some of the most important things to prioritize during planning, do you think?
So I think obviously the venue is the first thing. Getting that nailed down is always the first thing because you really can't do anything else until you get that point done. But I think what's most important really does vary between each client, each couple, because some people might not care about the food. And then you get foodies that are like, food is the only thing that we care about. So I think it's good to lay out your priorities when you're planning your wedding. Some people, photography is super, super important. Other people are like, I could go with Joe Schmo. It doesn't matter to me. Like, as long as we have some sort of pictures, that's fine. So I think individually, everyone should just kind of list out what's most important to you and go from there. But venue is going to be your top one because you really can't do anything else until you have your venues booked. And I mean, even before that, I guess you need your guest list too, because that varies from venue to venue and that type of thing and what you're looking for. So if you don't have a rough idea, if you're in the hundreds, you can't even look for a venue yet. So guest list and venue.
Yep. Very important. What are some of the most common mistakes you see brides make when wedding planning?
I think this is a hard one to hear. I feel like is that a lot of brides aim to please other people, whether it be family, friends, vendors, whatever it is, and they don't stay true to what they really, really want. And it is a hard place to be because usually in this situation, you're really close with your mom, or she might be contributing or something like that. So it's hard to go against what your mom is telling you to do in that situation. And a lot of people have the best hearts and they always want to make other people happy and make sure everyone feels included. And, they're telling me this and I should be doing that because they want that. And it's like, you really just need to focus that it's really about the two of you and your love on your wedding day. So you need to stay true to who you are and what you really do want on that day. Don't look to appease other people because you'll lose sight very, very quickly.
And it gets confusing because certain people's opinions might butt heads. So you're not going to make both of them happy.
Exactly.
Might as well make yourself happy.
Exactly. Stay true to yourself and just do what you want to do. It might not be traditional. It may not be what everyone else before you has done. And that's okay. It's your wedding day and how you want to celebrate your love is okay.
Do you have a favorite wedding planning memory or a wedding that you've planned? Not Hannah's. That's hard. But I know that would be the first answer. So what would be number two?
I know. It's so hard.
Or just something unique or interesting, maybe.
Yeah. So as a wedding vendor, and like I said, we've had 50, 60, 70 brides at this point. We see a lot of the same things, and that's okay. Things that stick out are normally things that we haven't seen. So I had a fire breather before, which was really fun.
Okay.
It was non-traditional and crazy. So that was pretty cool. That sticks out. I'm trying to think what else. I love when dogs are included. So any animals that are included on the day of anything that has to do with animals, I'm usually a big fan of. So just this past spring, my bride had her dog come during cocktail hour and he was running all around. It was so sweet. Cute. But yeah, I think those moments that are non-traditional. I love a venue that's on the water. So anytime I'm at a venue on the water, that makes me happy. I think that's fun. I really think anything that people are incorporating the two of them and their story is always really sweet. I had a couple years ago that put a Bible out and had their rings in the Bible and people prayed over their rings before the ceremony. So everybody had touched them and blessed their marriage. It was so sweet. And it was what they wanted to do. And I love that. I've only ever seen it one time. And I thought that was so sweet. So little things like that, when they really do what they want to do, makes me so happy.
That's so good. Yeah. I love that. Let's see. Do we want to talk about any of particular wedding vendors from Hannah's wedding?
Sure. I mean, obviously she had the best team. We kept it very small. Like Hannah said, we did our own flowers, which was so fun to have everybody together doing that. Our photographer, Michaela from Shebella. I say ours, but I mean, it was kind of ours, right?
Yeah,
Michaela.
fabulous.
Yeah, we've done an editorial photo shoot together.
Yes.
She's just so sweet and she makes everything feel comfortable. I mean, you can speak on that.
Agreed. She's just the sweetest, kindest soul, Michaela. I think it maybe helped a little bit that my sister already knew her coming in, but I feel like the first time I ever worked with her, I feel like I knew her already.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she makes it easy. She doesn't make anything feel pushed or like she isn't shooting. She's always there. She's capturing everything.
She's so great.
She's truly so great. And she shot one of Adam's friends' weddings prior to Hannah. So Adam got to get a feel for her and her work too prior, which was kind of fun.
Yeah.
We love to keep it in the family, you know?
Yeah.
And then obviously Bunny and June, full service coordination.
Mm-hmm.
We had a team there at Union Assembly to set up all of the DIY centerpieces and all of that fun stuff.
Mhm.
So shout out to Lauren. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. We didn't do videography.
Mm-mm.
We did chair rentals from Detroit Chivari.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Todd Everett.
Oh yeah,
and
Todd.
James Osteen.
So good. He is the best. They keep the dance floor packed the whole entire time. I mean, it was 94 degrees and everybody was dancing until 11
It was
p.m.
worth it.
It truly was. It was a great time. What else we have? She got her dress from Piera's.
Mhm.
It was a lot of fun. You did all of the alterations for that.
so
She had
fun.
Mary Grace for makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Your cake.
Venla's Cakes out of Hamtramck.
Okay.
She had a little bit of a vintage style cake.
I love
Vintage
those.
vibe.
Yeah,
I love those.
Cherries on top.
it was very
So
sweet.
cute.
Stunning.
I think that was everyone. It was a small vendor list, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh,
Weddings galore. I love it.
truly.
So back to, and I like always assume everybody listening to this is a bride, but they're probably
Sure.
not, there's probably
Yeah.
not many actual brides.
Yeah.
So maybe just a little more discussion about
Yeah.
any significant influences or inspirations about both of your lives and styles.
Ooh. I feel like mine is ever changing when it comes to, I wouldn't say style because we already touched on that. I
Mhm.
don't really have style. I
You
call
have
it,
so much style
no,
today. You
yeah,
walked in looking
this is
so cute.
no. I call it whatever's easy. I call it the Adam Sandler style,
Okay.
the hometown uniform. I'm always in, shorts and
Adam
an
Sandler
oversized.
look.
Literally, I am. I truly is a
Okay.
train wreck, but it's whatever makes me feel most comfortable.
Yes.
So I would say style wise, not so much, but like in my inspiration for design and that type of thing, it's
Mhm.
always ever changing. I always want to have what someone hasn't done as a vendor. It gets kind of boring to see the same old thing all of the time. So I highly encourage new trends, new colors, think outside the box, that type of thing. So I would say I'm always on the trends for design. Wallpaper, we were discussing wallpaper. I love to grab inspiration from wallpapers and, just homes and my clients inspire the style too. I feel like
Mhm.
after chatting with
Mhm.
them, hearing their stories, I like to take different parts of their life and incorporate it on the event day too. So I would say that's mine. What about you?
Hannah?
I would say for me, overall style wise, I feel like previously I used to be always on trend, but lately I'm like, I need to get more like basics in my closet that you can keep long term rather than having to like recycle through clothing. So basics, and I think being able to dress it up with a cute little bag and sunnies, and I like earrings. I love like statement earrings.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I've been on lately, like quality pieces over kind of like fast fashion or whatever's on trend at that point in time.
I feel like aging will do that to you too.
I know.
Mhm.
I feel that. I'm like looking at what some of these old stores I used to shop at are selling, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting older. I don't
Yeah.
like that.
I know.
I'm like, that would not look good on me. People would think that's weird.
I used to cut up all of my t-shirts into crop tops,
Yeah.
and I just no longer wear crop tops, unfortunately.
Mhm.
So I'm going through my drawers and having to get rid of everything and get more age appropriate clothing. I'm coming up on 30 in just a few months here, so
Mhm.
just trying to get with the times,
Yeah. Get classy. into your 30s,
Exactly.
I would say you're really confident in your style too. That's one thing I've always admired about you is that
Aw.
no matter what she wears, she always wears it with confidence, which is not the same case for me. So I think I've always looked up to you in that nature. No matter what it is, you always seem to rock it and feel comfortable. So,
I love you. You're so cute.
oh my gosh.
I feel like I always hear people say, I could never wear that. I'm just like, yes, you can. All you have to do is put it on and you're wearing it.
There you go. Good job.
Put it on. I love that.
Yeah. Just have confidence. That's all.
You always do.
I know it's easier said than done, but
Truly.
I love that. Good. Anything else?
Should she tell about
Let's
her
do
whole
it.
dress process? But
Yeah.
she's got a little bit of a backstory.
Oh, yes. Tell us like right from the beginning about
Okay.
your whole dress process
Yeah.
up until the wedding day.
okay. So I was very excited to go dress shopping. I didn't really know what to expect. I feel like you always go in thinking you want one thing and then you're surprised by everything else you put on. Because sometimes, you know, bridal shops, they'll give you, or dress shops, they'll give you different options, which they did at the few places I went to. But we ended up going to Piera's. I think she's located in Shelby Township. Fantastic location. They're all very sweet there. It's like a family-owned business. I tried on a couple dresses at a sample sale, and I think I really jumped at the first dress, and I think I jumped at the price tag too because it was a little bit on sale. It was like $500. So I was like,
the queen.
Exactly.
Yeah. Frugal queen here.
Frugal queen. I did jump at the first option and we went with it, and it was a beautiful dress. But I kept looking back, and they say you're not supposed to do this, but I kept looking back at other dresses, pictures of other dresses that I had tried on. And this other one was just like speaking to me. Really? And so I'm like, Caitlin, sister, we have to go back. Like, I want to try this on. I want to see if it's still there, because that dress was another sample sale dress. So meaning it's typically the last one there. It's discontinued. It's like the try on dress. So it might have a few stains, but we went back to Piera's and it was there. And I tried it on and I was like, okay, I like this one better. I think what I ended up going with is just a little bit more timeless, a little elegant, whereas the first one, a little bit lacy, a little bit beaded, and just not very me. So yeah, we ended up going with the second one, the one obviously that we had on the big day. And yeah, I would say process from there was, of course, getting on your schedule, which was so easy. Everything is listed out perfectly, I think, on your website because...
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah. I mean, first time bride. I mean, it is because you have to you have a couple appointments, which, you know, going in, obviously I didn't know that, but the weeks are all set out. I think it's 6 to 8 weeks for the first.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep. We came in, I think that first appointment is obviously when you kind of like take everything in, you pin everything up. We decide on the bustle, which obviously you gave great, you know, recommendations on as well. The bustle that we ended up going with was just amazing.
Good. Dance all night.
Exactly. So beautiful. And I remember being here and saying, I cannot believe that you get this done in a month. Crazy.
Yeah.
The work that you do.
Well, you know, the reason I do that, I used to have more time, but these women would be changing sides on me all the time, and I'd be doing everything twice.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yes, I go nice and close to the wedding date, so I know you're not going to change, and if you are, it's just within a few pounds. So
exactly.
Usually.
Yeah. So that first appointment, and then came back maybe like a week, 2 weeks before the wedding. And that's exactly it was perfect. The dress was just...
There was one little thing that needed, I don't even remember what it was, needed to be tweaked, and
I can't even quite
went out to eat, came back, and it was done.
Yeah.
So
we went to Chick-fil-A.
I don't remember what it was. We went out to breakfast, came back, and it was done. I was like, you're gonna finish it today? She's like, yeah, just give me 5 minutes. I'm like,
you know, what? I get a lot of brides that drive from far away. So I really try to like have room in my schedule to like do tiny fixes quickly so that you're not driving hours to come here back and forth. So
which is helpful.
I try to do what I can.
Yeah.
Good.
Everything was perfect. Effortless, beautiful studio.
Thank you.
I can't wait for people to see it.
Yeah, you guys were in here like within one of my first couple of weeks of being in the studio.
Stunning.
And you're actually at my first podcast guest in the studio.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. You're first.
Okay.
This
is exciting.
I love it.
It was a great experience, truly. And have working with you before on shoots and stuff. You just make it so easy for everyone.
Yeah, I was just making a little photo book literally today from our shoot. I'm making like these little books that I'm putting on my coffee table. So you all day today.
Such a great experience.
That was a fun shoot. We did at Book Tower, and it was fabulous.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We love to be creative, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't get that option as vendors to be able to do that. So when we all get to come together and collab, it's always fun to be creative in that nature. Oh
yeah. And us vendors, we like always put out 110% to, so it's awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
Yay. Very good. I think that's everything. Oh, Caitlin, can you share with us how people can find you for wedding planning and coordinating Instagram handle, website.
Yeah. So our website is bunnyandjuneevents.com. Lists all the services, all of the pricing, all of that fun stuff there. And then we are on Instagram, Bunny and June Event, no S. And that is all. I'm not active on Facebook or TikTok or anything like that. So just Instagram and our website.
What's the best way for people to reach out to you inquiring?
Yeah. So I have an option right on my website. So you scroll right down to the bottom, it says, let's connect, and it'll shoot me over a little email. And honestly, I'm pretty quick with my responses. I'm within an hour or two, because when you're in that getting ready to plan mode and you're shooting out emails, I want to be just as excited as you are. So let's jump on a call ASAP. So you'll get a really quick response from me.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
And if not, then she's probably on vacation or something. Give her a little bit of time. She'll get back to you. Don't worry.
Truly. I'll get back to you on Monday morning. I promise.
Yeah. That goes with any of your vendors.
Truly.
Oh, well, very good. Well, this was so much fun.
Thank you so much.
You two are the sweetest, and your sisterhood is just like, this is so touching.
Wow,
Unless you're both like really good at faking it. You're both
No,
so
we couldn't.
sweet.
No, we actually really
Feel the
like
love.
each other.
Yeah, we love each other.
Oh, that's so good.
Definitely, for sure.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you
us.
so much
It was
for
a lot
having
of fun.
us.
We're
Okay.
excited. Our first podcast.
All right, very good. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode has allowed you to approach the world with greater confidence in your own personal style. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out through email or the inquiry form on the website. I hope you are all ready to go and get dressed up. I look forward to sharing more dressing up tips with you in future episodes. Thanks so much.